Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you few brothers and few sincere sisters that watch my videos and gain edification or useful knowledge in this truth. So, as you can see, this is an article that came to me through the spirit, through one of the brothers, and it's titled, "Are We Moving Towards a Cashless, Checkless Society?" All right, so it goes on about some 80-year-old man named Paul Dixon complaining about the fact that he can't spend cash at a baseball game that he's taking his grandson to. So he's 85 and he's complaining because he can't pay cash at a baseball game that he's taking his grandson to, and all that's doing is that's showing you that, you know, society is going, it's going digital, it's going cashless, it's going digital, and that's moving further towards the charagma, you know, the digital all, you know, it's moving towards that, you know, pursuant to Rev 13, 16 through 18. All right. So, you know, it says he's a book author, blah, blah, blah. And he says, you know, that there's no place that, you know, he can spend cash at the stadium. And the stadium is completely cashless, and they have more than one stadium throughout in other locations, and I believe they are cashless as well. So he says there's a war on cash, said Jay Stanley, a senior policy analyst with the Speech, Privacy, and Technology Project with the American Civil Liberties Union. All right. Stores using Amazon's Just Walk Out technology, which include third-party stores at NFL stadiums, college campuses, and airports, do not accept cash or checks. Amazon Go convenience stores start accepting cash in 2019, but do not accept checks, according to a spokeswoman. Similarly, Amazon Fresh grocery stores accept cash but not checks. So what you have is a progression, and this has been going on for years, all right? This has been going on for a long time now, but it's moving more and more. They don't want to do it all at one time because it's going to cause a mass upset. You know, people are going to be completely upset because you got a lot of people who still holding on, you know, to them greenbacks. All right, they holding on to them greenbacks in their pockets. A lot of people got greenbacks. They still use greenbacks. You know, people use greenbacks in the street. All right, you know, paying debt. A lot of common folk use greenbacks. All right. So it reads, more businesses became cashless during the COVID-19. Most businesses became cashless during the C-19 pandemic, citing the need to protect their workers' health by not requiring them to exchange paper money and coins with the public, said Bankrate senior industry analyst Ted Rossman. All right, but some businesses were already moving in that direction, saying no cash policy was more efficient for operations. Okay, so they trying to say it's because of Mr. 19, all right, and it was more efficient because you got people stealing, you know, workers stealing, people robbing stores. So, you know, the more you move into, you know, this is more fuel for the fire. All right. So the more you move in that direction, you know, the more excuses you come up with. Oh, we was having to make more frequent deposits, and now we can save money because we don't have to pay for the armed guards to come and bring us more cash and things of that nature. You know, more greenbacks. All right. Speed, and convenience tend to be the main explanations, especially with most stadiums that have gone cashless, said Rossman. Businesses typically do it under the guise of, oh, it's going to be faster for everyone. The staff is not going to have to count bills and coins, and you could just kind of speed the line through. All right, so that's what they're saying. Okay, it's faster, more convenient. You don't have to wait. No counting. It's not as hard on the workers because half of these workers that work at these cashiers, a lot of these workers can't count anyway. All right, so that's the way they made it. They made it that way. That the youth can't count and they dumb. They can't do nothing with simple mathematics without a calculator. They made it that way. They dumb these children down. All right. Cash is also costly to businesses. Rosman said employees need time to balance cash registers at the end of the shift, and there are costs associated with the business getting the cash to the bank, either via an employee or armored vehicle service, he said. Okay? So, you know, that's the excuses that they're bringing upon. Businesses handling cash have also added potential worry of robberies either by outside criminals or employees who steal, Rossman said. Some businesses are also rejecting the payments by check. Target became the latest retailer to stop accepting checks in stores on July 15th, citing low usage. Aldi, Whole Foods do not take checks. But cash remains an important option for consumers, some advocates say. So you have cash advocates who say, oh, we still need cash. Why? Because you have small businesses, mom and pop stores. If you look around in the hood, you know what I'm saying, most of these mall-bite stores, you know, they don't accept card. Or if they, you know, they don't accept card. They accept cash only. You'll see a big sign, cash only, or written on a piece of cardboard, cash only, and they'll have an ATM right there, so you can get the ATM, but the ATM charges like $4. You know, so besides the expensive ass price of the food, you got to pay $4 on top of that for ATM fee. Cash is needed, and they probably own that damn thing too. So it's a win-win for Moab. Cash is needed for choice, for privacy, for equity, and for access. All right. So, say if you go in the store, you buy something, and you don't want nobody to know what you're purchasing. You know, purchasing. I can't really think of an item that that you don't want people to know. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're getting I don't know what you could get. You know what I'm saying? Unless you getting something and you don't want your partner, your wife, your significant other, to know what you're purchasing. That's the only thing I could think of. If you're trying to hide your purchases, from someone else, you don't want them to know what you're purchasing. If you're purchasing some type of, something. Okay, so it reads consumers. Susween was also in Atlanta and saw a sign on the ice cream shops. It read, "We accept whoever you are, but we don't accept cash. Consumers should be allowed to decide how we want to pay," Susween said. Okay, so there you have it. And it goes on. And some places as well charge you a fee for using card. So I know when I was going to get my car fixed, if you use your card, they charge you a service fee for that. If you pay cash, you don't have to pay that. But if you pay by card, they charge you a percentage on top of what you're paying because you're using a card. It don't matter if you have the cash in your account. It don't matter, or if you're using a debit card or if you're using a credit card. They charge you a fee on top of that, like a service fee. All right, this is a way for them to generate more money and keep you in a hole, in a ditch. All right, this is how they enslave you. All right. The study conducted in October 2023 was the first one since the CD, you know, declared the end of the Mr. 19 emergency in May 2023, a period when some consumers got increasingly used to digital online payments and were hunkered down at home and paying for goods and services remotely. This was the whole plan. All right. I'm on board with the digital economy. Who uses his phone and Google Wallet for most payments? And what happens if something shuts down and you can't use that? What can you do? If you can't access that Google Pay or your account, what you gonna do? You're gonna starve. If they want to shut that app down, what are you gonna do? How you gonna pay for anything? Despite the printed words on money, which says this note is legal tender for all debts, public and private, businesses are not required by law to accept cash, according to the Federal Reserve. There's no so they give you this, all right. They taking away your options, what you want to pay for, how you want to pay. They give you this, these greenbacks and say, here, this is how you gonna pay, for everything, your debts. You gonna pay one another. You know what I'm saying? Now they taking it back. And what are they gonna do? They're gonna take it back and give you something in place of it. What's gonna replace it? You know what I'm saying? And that's that charagma, that digital oil. There's no federal statute mandating that a private business person or organization must accept currency or coins as payment for goods or services. The Federal Reserve says on its website, private businesses are free to develop their own policies on whether to accept cash unless there's a state law that says otherwise. And who's legislating that? Nobody. Nobody's going for that. Because this is something that they want you to, that they want to move towards. Meanwhile, everybody's worried about YSL Woody, what he got to say. Meanwhile, they slipping this through. All right. So it says, lawmakers said the requirement was put into place to protect consumers' rights to use cash, and advocates emphasize that cash continues to serve as a vital purpose from being only means many Americans have to pay their bills to be a critical backup when the economic systems are down after a natural disaster. All right? Some laws have exceptions, such as allowing large stadiums to go cashless for a reverse ATM to convert cash to prepaid debit card. Businesses that violate the cash ban laws can face fines, and some of those reverse ATMs can come with fees. So they have reverse ATMs. So you can turn your cash into a debit card, but they, you know, and that's another thing. You everywhere you go, they sell prepaid debit. You can go to a dollar store, Family Dollar, and they're gonna have a prepaid debit card. Meanwhile, several states, including Massachusetts, Colorado, and cities like New York, Philadelphia, Detroit, have passed laws banning business from going cashless, and many others are considering familiar legislation. But it's never going to happen. Sweetgreen, a national salad chain, reverses cashless policy in 2019 again began accepting paper money after customer backlash. In some area, businesses are legally required to take paper money or have been pushed to do so by customers' demand. So what happens if the customers don't fight for it? If people don't fight for this? It's like transitioning from one world to the other. All right? So what happens if people forget about, if people don't fight for it? It's not going to happen. And most people are distracted. So let's read this. Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. All right. And Revelation 13:16 through 18. And he caused both small, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600 All right. So there you have it, folks. All right. It's coming. So with that said, shalom to the next one.